Hi, so summer is officially here.
Summer has started.
So first trip we wanted to get in the books after school, we came up to Andrew Jackson State Park, up in the upstate just outside of Charlotte.
Park number 44 for us.
We have some friends that live in Charlotte that we camped next to and really enjoyed this little park. So I hope you enjoy this video and kind of inspire you to get up to Lancaster.
That's sweet. So Andrew Jackson, some of just a little bit of information. It's kind of a small park, but it was named for our 7th president.
Yeah,
Andrew Jackson.
Growing up in South Carolina, I didn't even really realize Andrew Jackson, who was famous for winning the Battle of New Orleans and became president, was born in what they call
this is his birthplace.
the Waxhaw area of South Carolina at the time. He was born here shortly before the Revolutionary War.
That really shaped his sense of patriotism.
Yeah.
Some of the things he saw, he wasn't like one way or the other until he saw a few battles and then was taken prisoner.
So we found this out at the museum. There's a great museum here.
Go check out the interactive museum, lots of things to touch.
Yep. So yeah, he was born here. His dad passed away just several months before he was born. His mom moved in with some family members, and when he was 14 years old, the Bannister Tarleton came up from Charleston to this area, and there was a battle just down the road that he witnessed at 14 years old. One of his family members was killed in it, and shortly thereafter they ran, they were caught, and he was taken prisoner of war and was made to serve one of the generals. Several months later, his mom made a trip down to Charleston and negotiated for his release, and
then she spent some time there nursing her son. But there were several sons that were caught and all that. One had a head wound, nursing him back to health, along with some Navy men, and ended up catching cholera herself. And we don't even know where she's buried. So there's some tributes to her here as well. The Brave Elizabeth, as they call her, which is kind of cool.
So it was really neat. So up there by the museum, probably the thing that this park is most famous for is the statue called the Boy of Waxhaws,
which is an Anne Hyatt Huntington statue, which is, if you've seen stuff about Huntington Beach
State Park,
and Adelia Castle, Fort Greene Gardens, which is very famous.
All that.
It's a relatively small park.
Yes, it is a relatively small park. The campground itself is only 25 sites, a very small loop. They're fairly close together, but as you see in the background, there's a beautiful pond. I think it's an 18-acre. They call it a lake, but a pond, lake, whatever. We paddled around and enjoyed the lake. There's a lot of fishing here. We saw
there's a couple of fishing piers. There's boat rentals.
We saw a kid caught a catfish and another one caught a brim.
Yep, and somebody else caught a snake. So
there's a lot of wildlife here. I've seen a broad-shouldered hawk. We've seen lots of bluebirds
and redbirds,
cardinals,
ducks,
geese. A lot of animals here. We saw some water snakes, non-venomous water snakes, I will say, last night. Lots and lots of frogs. So really
lots of frogs, and just the sounds. I took a video this morning before everybody got up and people were leaving. That just the sounds. There was birds chirping, there was a cardinal was singing, the ducks were squawking, they were flying in.
And at night, all the frogs and the cicadas, and the gnats. And the gnats.
There's gnats right now.
So it's a very, very nice nature. I'll take it just a moment and walk around our sites, both Site 16 and 17. And then I also filmed a number of sites this morning as people left, so you can kind of get an idea of some of the things. All right, I'm gonna walk around our site. We're actually in Site 16 and 17. We camped with friends this weekend. We're side by side here at Andrew Jackson. Kind of narrow space. I'll show you 17 in a minute. We backed in. It is a bit of a slope heading back, and as you look, my hitch is way down. I probably could have pulled a couple boards out from underneath there, but it's fairly level side to side. I didn't have to have levelers at all. Come around over here and see the hookups. There's 30 amp and 50 amp electrical service and water. No full hookups. A little bit of space in between, but the view is what's amazing. Now this tree and my awning, I had to go back just a little bit further than I had wanted, but it worked out well. See, we've got a nice pad with timbers, and there's our view. Plenty of trees to have the hammocks up. It's a really nice site. And we'll come over here and see 17, also very level, side to side. He didn't need any levelers, but he's down pretty low in the front. And they came in 2 vehicles and they wedged in between the trees, but it was tight. But the view is what makes these sites. Lots of kayakers, lots of fishing. All in all, it's been a really nice Memorial Day weekend at Andrew Jackson. While we were here, we always like to try and find a place to eat, and we actually were going to ride down with Mark and Catherine and them to Lansford Canal to go see the spider lilies. So we wanted to grab a bite to eat while we were there. We heard great things about the wagon wheel. So
apparently it was accurate. Yes. Great things, because we got there to a long line. Now it was Sunday, 12:45. We thought the church crowd would be on their way out. Apparently we were wrong. The line was long. We had hungry kids, so we decided that we would go down the corner, around the corner to the Catawba Fish Shack, I think.
Fish house. Fish house, I think it was. On Sunday, they are only drive up and drive through. So we grabbed that to go and ate it at
amazing
at Lansford Canal.
Lots and lots of food.
Yep, lots of food. All fried. What we got turned out to all be fried, but they did have some non-fried stuff, but fantastic.
And you going to a fish house?
Yeah.
You go get some fried fish.
Yes.
And to the catfish fillet, highly recommend. It was very light. It was not heavy, even though it was all fried. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that heavy.
No, it wasn't that heavy. And the French fries, you could tell they cut themselves there. Fantastic French fries. So. And
the hush puppies were really good. Yeah. The coleslaw was a little vinegary, but I really liked it.
I liked it. Mark was not a fan. He likes the more mayonnaise based. So.
I liked it. It was a good stark contrast to the fried food. It was just a cool little opportunity. But either one of those, they're close together. Yep. So if you're down this way, check out the fish house or the wagon wheel. Wagon wheel obviously was great. Parking lot was overflowing and literally like
line out the door.
25 people standing outside in heat waiting to go in.
So about the park, as we mentioned, it's small. It's got some really neat features though. There's an old schoolhouse, one-room schoolhouse. It is currently, you can't go into it. They try to have it open an hour or 2 a day. They will
make reservations for you if you call and make reservations. We didn't miss that.
Yeah, they're lacking for volunteers. That's the big issue. So if you make reservations, they can plan around it. There's also a meeting house which you can rent out if you need it.
And there's this beautiful giant amphitheater.
Yeah, the amphitheater is stunning. All wood layers.
ADA compliant and trees, shaded. Would have been perfect. It had lighting. It had sound.
Yeah,
it was
beautiful.
Cool.
And then there's a couple of picnic shelters. So lots of great day use facility on top of the campground here. We've really enjoyed it. It's been pretty. It's relatively quiet because there's only 25 sites.
And the book does say it's like one of the most popular parks.
And I could see why. It's nice. The paved parking. Every one of them's got a little timbered area for the family, and the wildlife. It's a great place to just come
Great park.
and get away. So
It's close to a lot of things. If you're in the Charlotte area, I mean, it's around the corner.
Charlotte, Rock Hill, Lancaster. It's all right here. So I highly recommend Andrew
little park.
Jackson. If you can get a spot, come check it out.